For Philadelphia, Jesse Hart, one of their top stars, produced with a knockout win that, with the new scoring system, gave them 4 points, pushed them ahead. And the same thing happened for the Las Vegas Hustle, but in their case, it was their big heavyweight banger, Kai Brooks, that did it, and they went on to win 17-15. You know, when you look at these two teams, so much skill on their rosters, lots of power, as we just talked about. And when you look down at the matchups that we're going to see tonight, Dave, very mouth-watering.
Let's take a look at some of the stars that we're going to see. How about that Kai Brooks? KO Kai. The Kai was the limit as he scored 2 knockouts last week, 8 points. It became the TBL points leader under the new scoring system, 4 points for a knockout victory, and that propelled his team from behind in a match that looked like it was going to be LA's all the way. The Hustle came in and stole it, more or less, with their big gun. So is he going to be the story of the league? He will be if he does it again. And Stacia Suttles came over from New York to Philadelphia this year, and they wanted power. They got it in her debut, as she is one of the top performers in this league. I call her the freight train. And Stacia Suttles got the knockdown and was quite consistent, and she is money in the bank. Point-wise, it's just a matter of how many points she's going to get for her team. We have the launch rounds, the middle rounds, and the money rounds where the coaches take over. The launch rounds gets us started. What are you looking at for the launch rounds?
Well, let's take a peek at round number 2, the second matchup, which is featherweights. Rasheem Brown, the crafty left-hander for Philadelphia, who already has 32 wins in team boxing, taking on Ioannis Argalagos, who was a Olympic bronze medalist, and he's a very solid pro. So he's a newcomer to TBL, but that could be quite an interesting matchup to look at.
All right, so many of them tonight, and we're happy to be joined by the third member of our broadcast team, Amelia Moore. Amelia, how are you? What is the vibe, and what are you looking at right now?
Geez, gentlemen, are we sure this is not the finals? Incredible matchup between Philly and Vegas. I mean, if tonight's the night not to miss the show, get here immediately. We have so much good energy coming in. I was able to talk to both the head coaches, Bob Kane and also David Hayes. Really, both of them are so confident. I had Bob yelling at his athletes, making sure everyone was properly warmed up, no mistakes tonight. And there's a lot of amazing female fights on this card tonight. And of course, I'm always looking forward to seeing Rashida Ellis tonight, but she's taking on Florencia Britos. This is going to be an interesting matchup between the two of them. The talent is just, it's deep. You know, with Rashida being an Olympian, and then Flo has just such an incredible talent. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but do not blink without a doubt.
Okay, thanks, Amelia. We'll be checking in with you during the show a lot. You know, these matchups, we're saying, I like this one. No, I like this one. There's a whole lot of them that we're going to be getting to. It's Vegas. It's Philly. It's the TBL. It's the big matchup, and it's next. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, we're getting started tonight with Philadelphia, and there are the TBL Bellas, a nice addition to the Team Boxing League this year, getting a lot of great reviews on social media. Let's go inside and meet the contestants.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Week 3 of Team Boxing League between the Philadelphia Smoke and the Las Vegas Hustle here at Harrah's Casino in Philadelphia. We want to thank the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission, Ed Kunkel, for hosting tonight's event. Also, a big thank you to our fine sponsors. Team Boxing League app. Stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available for free on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss the second of TBL Team Boxing League action in Season 4. Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our fighters fuel with clean carbs and real ingredients, and now you can too. All you have to do is grab their new Guiltless snacks and get 35% off right now with code TEAM at balanceofnature.com. And Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Philly Smoke!
Philly Smoke getting the introduction as the home team first.
Interesting.
I wonder if they flipped a coin for that to see.
Apparently. Well, they're coming in, and we talked about it, you know, like the Las Vegas squad having dodged a bullet last time, but then again, on the flip side of that, showing their tremendous tenacity in coming back to win.
You know, the Philly Fab Five coming up with the last 5 victories for that team to pull away.
The head coach of the Philly Smoke is Bob Kane. Bantamweight Ivy Enriquez. Featherweight Rasheen Sugar Sheen Brown. Multi-time national champion in 2020, U.S. Olympian featherweight Shaquilla Ellis. Lightweight Angel, the chosen one, Hernandez. Welterweight Isaiah Killer Duke Johnson. Super welterweight, the new Ray Robinson. Middleweight Paul, the Punisher Kroll. Heavyweight Elijah War Chief Akana. 3-time Pennsylvania State Champion and Honduran Olympic team member, Featherweight Maria Antunes. Welterweight Najim No Mercy Jones. Multi-time national champion, Team USA member, and Olympic trialist, super lightweight Stasia, the Natural Suttles. Super middleweight Zaire Jefferson. Former USBA, NABO, and NABF champion, light heavyweight Jesse Hardwork Hartz. Former 2-time world champion, Cruiserweight Steve USS Cunningham Sr. And New York Golden Gloves champion, heavyweight Concha Don't Blink Nathan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Philly Smoke. And now, let's welcome the Las Vegas Hustle.
All right, so Vegas takes their walk in, hoping for the same result they got last year when they flew across country and then came out of Philly with the victory, and that maintained their perfect season. It's a very loaded team, well coached, a team that did well in a lot of close matches last year.
Yeah, remarkable to go through the regular season undefeated.
And yet the thing that unfortunately dogged them a little, you know, you have a night where nothing goes right. They never had that in the regular season, and it happened to them in the playoffs, and they still almost won. But it was just one of those nights where the other team does so much better than before. You lose a couple close decisions, and that was what burned them.
The Las
They're a very good
Vegas
team.
Hustle are Coach Big D, David Hayes, and Dewey Cooper. Bantamweight, Natalia Castañeda. 2016 Olympic bronze medalist and two-time World Games champion, Featherweight, Joannis Arguilagos. Featherweight, Florencia Britos. Former Pan American Games, World Series of Boxing and multi-time Cuban national champion, lightweight Osvela Caballero. Welterweight, Reynera Salgado. Super welterweight, Dislana Gainza. 2019 National Golden Gloves champion and 2020 Olympic team trialist, middleweight Joseph Hicks. Bronze medalist at the World Boxing Championships and multi-time national and international champion, heavyweight Hyrek Ruiz. Featherweight Jordan Edwards. Lightweight Elena Medina. Super lightweight Joanna Romero. Four-time Cuban national champion welterweight Dariana Castro. Super middleweight Diana, the Cuban sniper de Pestre. Light heavyweight Gonzalo Martinez. Former national champion Cruiserweight Luis Portuando Acala. And the heavyweight for the Las Vegas Hustle is Kai Brooks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we all ask that you please rise, if you're able to, for the singing of our national anthem being performed tonight by TBL veteran, the outstanding Nair Albright.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now
Nice
here
reception.
Albright with the singing of our national anthem. And now Philadelphia, get ready. It is time to begin the launch rounds between the Philly Smoke and the Las Vegas Hustle. Our first round is brought to you by the Team Out Boxing League app. Don't miss a moment of any of the action on the Team Boxing League app. All you have to do, it's available right now on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Round one for Philadelphia at 118 pounds, Ivy Enriquez. For Las Vegas, it is Natalia Castañeda.
All right, so after we get started from Pipes Albright, national anthem, and member of the Philadelphia team who has sometimes sung and fought on the same night, we are ready to go at Natalia Castaneda, Kiki, Mexican and Laotian descent. Dad was a fighter. Dad and brother have inspired her. And Ivy Enriquez 6-0. 2 straight TKOs and getting into the TBL now.
Yeah, she's making her debut, and Castaneda making her debut this season for Las Vegas. Castaneda, a lefty, and get ready for that. You're going to see a lot of left-handers tonight for both teams.
It's something we've always associated with the Miami team, with all the Cuban connections down there. And a pretty good Cuban connection in Las Vegas, too.
Yeah, quite a bit. We're going to see a lot of great Cuban amateurs on this team. And Castaneda, the Kansas City resident, is an action fighter, and so is Ivy Enriquez, who, as you mentioned, is undefeated as a pro.
Right, hook here attempted by Enriquez.
Boy, they came after it in this round, didn't they? Both women just banging away.
And if you take a step back, it's only to load up. It's not that you were driven back.
Boy, that's for sure.
Jab is optional in this fight. There's one. And it would serve Castaneda well if she settles into that. I mean, the pace of a fight sometimes it takes on its own intensity. Good body work.
Yeah, and that Castaneda's going downstairs and upstairs, but then again, so is Enriquez. Enriquez is a perfect example of somebody who's doing very well as a pro, coming in here, and I think taking to this format. You know, Castaneda's done a lot of good work here, but so has Enriquez.
Yeah, with her pro experience, you see how she has no problem getting inside the jab and going to work. And on the other side, Castaneda teeing off. They're both getting good shots in here.
Castaneda's never lost as a pro boxer, either outside of TBL or in TBL, so she'd like to keep that spotless. The left hook of Enriquez has been a kind of an effective weapon, as Castaneda is landing her straight left more often.
And Enriquez doing some of her better work in the last half of this round. Good body shots.
Yeah, Castaneda's throwing his right hooks downstairs very, very well. So this is really been a great round.
And when you talk about how you have to get started, it's even true with the body shots.
Yeah.
Sometimes you invest in later rounds when you're throwing those body shots, but this time you just have to get everything now.
And they should all score. You know, if a judge is scoring a fight correctly, you know, they should score. And that was a barn burner.
Yeah, that was a great way to start.
And in the final portion of that round, they were still looking to make things happen. Enriquez with that nice jab. She used that fairly effectively, although Castaneda got inside it many times and worked on the inside and did some good body work.
They gave the judges a lot to interpret. Both put forth a good, strong effort. Who will get the point?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 1 by split decision. From the Las Vegas Hustle, Natalia Castañeda.
All right, we would deserved split.
Our next round is brought to you by Climax Moonshine, fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 2 will be in the featherweight division. For Philadelphia, it is Rasheen Brown. For Las Vegas, Joannis Argelagos.
Yeah, Rasheen Brown, 4 wins in a row, 15-1, 13 in a row in TBL. Mr. Automatic, as some of these fighters have been, him and Ellis. Started boxing at the age of 7 and training out of the James Schuler gym.
In Argelagos, I mentioned at the top of the show, he is was a bronze medalist in the Olympics and a good pro, 9-2-1. He lost his debut several weeks ago in team boxing to Sean Brewer in a split decision. So he's a solid fighter in against, as you point out, a stalwart of team boxing.
Guys with this type of style, when you look at Brown, you look at Ellis, it's the type of fighters you can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's still shadow boxing. You still can't touch them, no matter what time it is. They just have that instinct.
Boy, I think you're right, Dave. And they're just, you know, Brown is such a fluid and crafty boxer. But we say boxer, he fights off the front foot a lot, as he's doing now. So it's not as if he's moving around the ring constantly. And look at that.
Off the
he
front
shows
foot,
us his power.
Are they going to call that a slip, or are they going to count it as points? It looks like it's points.
I think that was a right hook that landed.
Wow. Explosiveness as Philly on the board. Just as you were saying, don't only classify him as a boxer up on the front foot. And that was perfect timing.
Rasheen Brown's mission tonight is make me look good.
Well, he's off to a good start.
He is. Well, maybe he's thinking more of himself. Yeah, that was a big development pretty early in the round. I don't know if Argelagos is still hurt, but he is moving a lot.
Yeah,
so he might be.
These body shots are hurting him.
Yeah.
So there's already 1 bonus point for Philly with a minute to go. So how much do you want to gamble if you're Sugar Sheen Brown? I mean, he kind of takes what is being given to him. That's one of the smart things about these Philly fighters. But I get the sense he knows there's more out there.
Well, he may be looking for that right hook again and see if the opportunity arises. Argelagos is trying to avoid that happening. And Argelagos has been a little bit less offensive here because of the concern. And man, look at Brown.
He saw that peekaboo cover up and he went to town on it. He bid on it. And he's trying to do more. In any case, he is finishing, especially this last minute or so, with a flourish. These are terrific right hooks to the body, and well, what a clinic from Brown.
I think it's likely he'll get win number 33 in the team boxing league based on that performance. And we look back and we're going to see, sent down with a punch, and And it was a solid one as well. Nice short right hook by Brown.
14 wins in a row in the TBL with him, and this one with a little bit of punctuation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 2 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to Philadelphia's Rasheed Brown. Round 3 will be in the featherweight division. For Philadelphia, it is Shaquilla Ellis. Las Vegas will feature Florencia Britos.
So now you're Philly, you're saying this is great. We got the great start, and we have one of our go-tos right here.
And Amelia Moore, of course, put the spotlight on this match, pointing out that it should be a really good one because Britos is a very solid fighter as well.
22-9. Only losses like people like Stacia Suttles, Ariel Davis, Natia Williams, the cream of the crop. A closer look at Ellis and what has made her a sparkling sensation with all that amateur background that she has going all the way back. 2022 Elite Women's Champion. She has just been automatic. Perfectly set for this league.
And she has dominated, been perfect. 18-0. Can't do better than that.
And it's a wonderful luxury. Can't even be overstated by a coach saying, "Hey, you know what? I've got people I can put in here." And I'm curious to see how this dynamic will evolve. Coaches have told us that they really go hard to try to get the top females, but they perceive a bigger drop-off in talent than in the males. So if you get star female fighters, you have a huge edge.
Yeah, the depth in women's boxing is getting a lot better, but it's not always there in every weight division. Britos has moved to righty. She's switched, and she's working on the inside. She's got very quick hands, Florencia Britos, so she's capable of throwing some combinations of her own as well, as we know Ellis is.
Britos is coming forward, going to try to make Ellis use her defensive instincts and lateral movement.
Britos is really concentrating on getting that right hand in. And she wants to do it over the jab of Ellis because Ellis is such a pronounced jabber. She likes to use that punch.
Good defense by Britos as Ellis tried to pepper her and they died in the gloves.
And the body work of Britos pretty good here in this portion of the round. This has been a pretty competitive round.
Yes.
Overall. And see, back to lefty goes Britos to see if she can give Ellis a different look.
If you're going against her, you have to go in saying somebody's going to be the one that gets that victory that ends the streak. Why not me?
And Amelia was correct in saying that Britos' overall ability put her in this as a very live underdog in this fight, and she's showing us that. But here comes Ellis at the end of the round. That was a good round of boxing.
And, yeah, Britos pursuing and pressuring, and Ellis trying to parry and play the defense.
Right at the end, Ellis trying to get her own right hand in and using the jab, which she did throughout the fight or the round. That was a big staple for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 3 by way of unanimous decision from Philadelphia, Shaquilla Ellis.
So Philly gets the jump up 4-0 now.
Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our fighters fuel with clean carbs and real ingredients. And now you can too. Grab their new guiltless snacks and get 35% off right now with code team at balanceofnature.com. At lightweight for Philadelphia in round 4, it is Angel Hernandez. For Las Vegas, Osvaldo Caballero.
Caballero 6-0. Cuba. 3-fight KO streak up until August. And in TBL, 30-6. Nice wins over Victor Abreu and the Ghost, Diego Dominguez. So some credentials there for him.
Yeah, both those men very, very good in team boxing. This is one of those matchups that when you looked at it on paper, you said, intriguing to say the least. Hernandez with the wins over Jose Diaz Rodriguez, a win over him the last time out in the season opener. That was impressive. And a split for Caballero last time out.
And did a nice left hook. And a good up jab. And as he does that, Hernandez coming right to him. Yeah, this is the high pedigree. We see it already all the way throughout these matches.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of close matches, and you know, so far, you know, while Las Vegas is on the short end with 1 point only, that could change on a heartbeat. Hernandez has been pretty, I think, more volume in this round than Caballero has had. Not everything landing, of course, but he has thrown more.
And that does matter in the judge's eyes if the rest of the round is perceived even. It could be one avenue for a tiebreak.
And these two fought before in season 2, and Hernandez lost to Caballero, so he's hoping to turn that around here.
Of energy trying to get into punching position. There's the sportsmanship, and they go from there. 1 minute to go. They've got to both feel that this is in the balance. High quality shots.
And now Caballero being much more aggressive, though being countered a little bit by Hernandez.
Has to employ the risk-reward scenario to try and get some offense. Take the risk with it. It was a good, sneaky right hand by Caballero.
The last minute of this round, much more aggression from Caballero than we saw early in the match. But Hernandez certainly punching back.
The judges are going to have a bit of a dilemma about what landed, what didn't. Punches over the top. They've both been active. And this has been quite a good round of boxing.
The question will be whether the early part of the round for Hernandez will take precedent over the ending part. There's Caballero landing that nice right hand. He really used that punch in the last minute or so of the round a lot.
They're psyched in the Philly sector.
TBL fans, the winner of round 4 by split decision. From the Las Vegas Hustle, Osvaldo Caballero.
Came on strong late. Caballero gets it. So both teams have asserted They're high quality. It's close as we go through the first 4 matches. Vegas and Philly showing us what we thought we were going to see. More straight ahead.
Down there, if you put your arm behind me, just tap my leg so I know. I almost stepped on you. I didn't realize you were there. And again, I just don't want to step back on that greater gap.
All right, the Philadelphia look. It's Harris-Chester, where the teams are going at it. Philly up 3-2. An exciting start to this one. Let's go back inside.
Round 5 will be at welterweight. Philadelphia features Isaiah Johnson. He'll meet Las Vegas' Reiner Diaz Salgado.
All right, round 5, the TBL 3-2. Philadelphia up over New York, and Amelia Moore has a special guest. Go ahead, Amelia.
Gentlemen, I'm down here in the bullpen with Cherame Patricio of the Philadelphia Smoke. Madam, she has been on an absolute tear. Recently claimed the WBA Continental Championship title, which is an interim title into the WBA, and also the NABF title, which I myself just claimed 2 weekends ago. Girl, you are on fire. Let's talk about that. You have been on Team USA. We've traveled the world together. Does it feel like those titles have created validation for the hard work, or has it just made you way more hungry?
It definitely makes me way more hungry. Like I want to just keep on going on to the next. But I do intake like, wow, I'm really here. But then it makes me work harder, and then I just go on to the back in training camp and get ready for whatever's coming.
Well, speaking of what's coming next, what is coming next?
Well, my upcoming fight, I'll be fighting WBA International on April 25 in Baltimore.
Oh my God, it's literally coming up. It's right around the corner in Baltimore. I think it's a Tony Jeter card.
Yes.
I know, that's actually where I started boxing. So we're literally on the doorstep of world title contention. Anything that you feel like you're working on to sharpen up, or you're just ready?
Well, I'm just ready, but we're gonna sharpen up a little too. But I'm definitely ready whenever the time is coming. Hopefully, the end of this year, I'm praying, and in God's hands, everything will be aligned.
Any last words you want to give out to the Bantamweight division? Put those ladies on notice.
I'm coming for it. I'm coming for that #1 spot, so whoever wants to smoke, come and get it.
There you have it. Catch her here very soon. Dave, get us back into the ring.
Thank you, Amelia. And those titles do often put you in the world rankings. It can make you right away an optional title defense for certain champions. So you win those titles and you are in the house.
We have 2 tall, stylish lefties who are banging away, and Salgado just landed a really good right hook. He and Johnson both with very good, pro records and a solid TBL as well.
So interesting that they talk about a stylistic matchup when it's righty versus lefty. And when it's lefty versus lefty, then what becomes the punch of choice?
Yeah, it's very hard. The right hook is there when you have it if you're a lefty against lefty. Not everybody does. Both these men going at it here in this round. It's been an excellent round.
Terrific pace. The 2 lefties putting up a great shot and an uppercut underneath. Everything a would-be KO blast. Boy, that's going to be in the discussions for round of the night.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see both these teams reacting, and that's one of the fun things about team boxing, but and both these men, they're celebrating what they did, and big right hook from Salgado, a good straight left by Johnson, mixed in that attack there. And man, oh man, both these men, you know, Johnson 22-5 in team boxing. He'd like to get 23.
By unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Smoke, Isaiah Johnson.
So Johnson gets this great round for Philadelphia. And like you said, they came out first very happy about what they did, figuring that they could not have done any more. And then it's a bonus if they get the pull.
Brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. At Super Welterweight for Philadelphia, the new Ray Robinson. For Las Vegas, Dislan Rivera Ginza.
All right, Robinson and Gainza getting ready. Gainza 3-0 at Cuba Southpaw. Lost 2 to Angel Munoz in the TBL opener. Won his last 4 last year.
Yeah, losing 2 in a row hadn't happened in a night. Hadn't happened to him ever in team boxing. He's got the 13-5 record in team boxing, so that was a rarity for him.
Now, Gainza has quite an interesting track on life. Take a look at him. He said he's a model. And he's been in runway shows and also sparred with guys like Devin Haney and Erzlandi Lara. So that's quite a resume being packed by this young 24-year-old. Yeah,
I've announced several of his pro fights, and he does this. He comes forward and he is pressing the 40-year-old Ray Robinson, a man who at various times has fought top fighters like Sean Porter and beat Breedis Prescott. So even at 40, he's got a lot of experience. But if you're the young man, you want to press the veteran.
Yeah, make him use his legs, make him try to feel how old he is.
Robinson making his season 4 debut. He's an even 500 at 16-16 in team boxing, but he is facing a whirlwind right here against Gainza.
Good left hand by Gainza. Gainza doing a nice job cutting off the ring here too.
You get the feeling Gainza came in here tonight saying, only once has it happened to me to lose twice in one night. I'm not going to let it happen again here in team boxing.
Yeah, how you come back from something like that says a lot about motivation and determination. The guy could come out angry. That's the look of it.
Robinson trying to counterpunch effectively, and he is normally fairly good at that. And Robinson, amazing, you know. He's 40 years old. He fought Mikhail Fox in February of this year. He lost a decision to him, only a month and a half ago. So he's still campaigning actively.
You saw the Vegas bench caught up in the action. The teammates rooting for each other. Campaigning actively, you just don't know when your opportunities will be there. So you stay with it. Sometimes you can get on a roll. And we've seen Gainza be a pretty sharp puncher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he really has.
I love all the head movement he's been able to mix in with that.
Great experience, of course, with the Cuban amateur team. And he's showing us a pretty good boxing pedigree here tonight against a clever opponent. I don't think that would be called a knockdown.
No, and it's very big that they made the right call there, because Gainza has done so many things right. And if that had call had gone the other way, that's a major shift. But Dislan Gainza hoping that this is his runway and a good modeling show for him here.
Well, here's the point that, as Dave pointed out, was called correctly because it was a trip, and had it been called a knockdown, it would have drastically turned that round around. Good offense by Gainza. Not everything landing, but he's showing you the volume of punching that he did in that round. So we'll see if that
Ladies
paid
and
off.
gentlemen, the winner of round number 6 via unanimous decision from Las Vegas, Dislan Gainza.
I think we said something about this being a tight match. Didn't we? 4-3.
I believe so.
Only a knockdown separating the teams at this point.
Round 7 at middleweight. Philadelphia will showcase Paul Kroll. He'll collide against Las Vegas' Joseph Hicks.
And so Paul the Punisher Kroll, 7-10 in TBL, 12-0 outside of TBL. Shows the contrast we've often discussed about how it's a different animal when you come into the one-round format and try to get everything, of course, where every round is the last round. His pro record goes back to 2018, so he hasn't gotten as much action as he has gotten in the TBL.
And for Joseph Hicks from Grand Rapids, you know, he's 12-1 as a pro, promoted by Salida Promotions. He's had a lot of build-up and fought for the USBA title. Did not win it. He lost to Wendy Toussaint, and he's at 32 trying to make his way. Now coming on, making his debut in team boxing, and we'll see if he's a big addition to this Las Vegas team.
It's always refreshing to see how energized the fighters are when they come into this. It's all new. It's something that they've heard about. Usually their friends and teammates in other areas or fellow trainers and coaches have told them, hey, you should give this a shot.
Hicks landed a real nice short left uppercut as a counter to Kroll, who was coming in. And Joseph Hicks is not by nature a quick starter in his pro fights, which could have an impact on how he does here in team boxing.
That's a big point.
But he landed a real nice right hand there, and he's picking up the pace.
You have to train yourself to be a fast starter in this. And then if you go out back into the traditional boxing world after you've been in here long enough, good chances you will be a fast starter in those fights.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Fighters scoring first round knockouts. Kroll's been coming forward, but not always landing, and Hicks has done some counter punching, so it looks like it's kind of up in the air right now.
Still a minute to go for one to get a clear-cut edge. There's a good left hook that got in by Hicks.
Yeah, they kind of traded them, and Hicks's was a little bit better, but he and Kroll are exchanging that punch a lot.
Hicks is on the stalk right now.
This is one of those rounds where some good punches landed here in this final segment could cement a victory.
So Hicks has had the geographic edge.
Yeah.
It'll be up to the judges to decide if that's enough.
Oh, nice overhand right by Hicks right at the end, near the end of this round.
Well contested.
And for Joseph Hicks, he can now say he has some experience in this team boxing, and that's helpful for somebody for sure. He and Kroll, they're exchanging left hooks, and Hicks might have gotten in a little better there, but that was one of those seminal moments in this fight.
TBL fans, the winner of round 7 by unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Smoke, Paul Kroll.
So the geographic advantage did not translate into points for Hicks, and Philadelphia gets back up to a 2-point advantage. Final of the launch rounds is upon
Our
us.
final launch round in the heavyweight division for the Philadelphia Smoke, Elijah Akana. He'll meet Las Vegas's Jairek Ruiz.
All right, so here we go. Ruiz, Cuban fighter, has won the Astana Cup in Russia. Roberto Bellata Championship 3 times in Cuba. And he first joined the national team in 2015. A bit of a pivotal matchup here. It's been even, but this is probably an important one for Vegas to try to trim it to 1 or less. Philadelphia to try and get its biggest lead in the contest if they're able to get this with Akana.
Yeah, this is...
Good hustle here by Ruiz. Now it is Ruiz having the ring cut off against him by Akana, who tries to get to work along the ropes. Advantage opportunity right here for Akana if he can capitalize it. He just missed with a big right hand. Set it up and almost had the payday.
And he's got some power in the right hand and trying to get that punch in here.
So now it is Akana pressing the attack and trying to work on the inside here against Ruiz, who's trying to fight him off.
And both these men over 500 in their team boxing career, and wanting to continue that positive energy.
Big next big development here, and it just missed with the right hand from Akana, and then Ruiz with a short counter, and that was a good left hand by Ruiz that gets in.
Jairek Ruiz has used that left hand in previous fights very effectively. Hasn't been able to unload it as much as he would want probably in this round, but it has gotten in from time to time.
Oh, and a bomb by Ruiz.
That was an amazing left hand from Ruiz. We said he's been looking for that punch, and he got it in.
One of the best punches of the night so far.
And there, you can see Ruiz desperately trying to get that left hand in and working on the inside. Akana, who did that effectively. And he's working in there.
Final launch round by unanimous decision from Las Vegas, Jairek Ruiz.
So Jairek Ruiz with that overhand left perhaps helps Las Vegas narrow the margin.
At the end of the launch rounds, Philadelphia leads Las Vegas 5-4. The middle rounds are on the way.
So close as we expected
Also,
it
Team
to
Boxing
be.
League fans, make sure to download.
Very good competitive fights, flashes of power, and really a fun evening of boxing, just as we thought. What about what's coming up in the future? Here's Dave Bontempo.
Hey, Al, we're enjoying the excitement
excitement and hearing from fans. Where can we watch Team Boxing League on TV? There are a lot of places where TBL is seen. We'll tell you all about that. Watch our network TV partner, Envoy TV, for all TBL matches live on Envoy Fast, with full season encores on both Envoy Fast and Envoy TV every day. Get the Envoy app in the Apple and Android stores or on the Local Now app. Envoy TV is available to subscribers of Spectrum and Friendly TV. Connected TV users with Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, Samsung, and LG devices can download the TBL app and watch both live action and previous matches on demand. TBL is also seen on YouTube, the TBL app, and in Spanish on Estrella Network and Fast Channel. Tell your friends. The TBL Summit between Philadelphia and Las Vegas living up to expectations, as after the launch rounds, Philadelphia holding a 5-4 lead. Dave Bontempo along with Al Bernstein. Well, we said it was close, and basically what we found in the highlight rounds is what made the difference there.
Yeah, both these teams showing their best, lots of close rounds, and the only difference separating these teams is one knockdown.
That's right, and it was the second fight of the night involving Rasheem Brown in the launch rounds, and this is where the difference is right now.
Yeah, Rasheem Brown, of course, a very clever and stylish boxer, but he's got pop in his punches, and a short right hook that you could barely see sent Argelagos down, and he got himself a win with an extra point. And then in round 7, Paul Kroll and Joseph Hicks. Hicks making his debut in Team Boxing League in Las Vegas, hoping he'd be a big addition to the team. Well, Paul Kroll, a veteran of Team Boxing, and he engaged in a very, very good round. There was a moment when they exchanged left hooks. It was Kroll, though, who ended up getting the win, his 8th on Team Boxing. So it was a big win for them.
It was knockdowns. It was technical proficiency. It was great action all the way through. And now we go into the middle rounds, and what has caught your eye?
Round 16 looks pretty interesting to me, and it's got the heavyweights. Kai Brooks, who has been on a tear for Las Vegas, and Kanja Nathan. And by the way, they met in the Team Boxing League debut of Kai Brooks, and Brooks won. So Conja Nathan looking for some revenge.
All right, and will it be a knockout or a decision like last time? We'll find out. The middle rounds are upon us, and here is Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we begin the middle rounds, round 9. Stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV, 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. The middle rounds begin at featherweight. For Philadelphia, Maria Antunes. For Las Vegas, Jordan Edwards.
All right, so Jordan Edwards, 2 losses to Lizette Lopez, looking to find a niche. And Maria Antunes from Honduras, now in Pennsylvania, was a good college soccer player, then 5 Western Pennsylvania Gold Gloves, and also a 3-time Pennsylvania State Gold Gloves, and represented Honduras in international competition.
Except for that, she has done nothing in amateur sports.
You know, what about the last week?
Yeah, right. What's she been up to?
We're not asking for too much.
Yeah, this should be an interesting matchup, to be sure. Neither has a lot of team boxing experience. Only 3 fights between them. And Antunes lost to Angelis Mendez, who we saw looked very impressive this weekend in her opening bout this season. And for Edwards, 2 losses, as you pointed out, to Lizette Lopez.
Well, we told you about Edwards. What about Antunes? Oh, we told you about Antunes. What about Edwards? There you go. Good look at this promising fighter. In boxing way back, and the goal is to show that the MMA people can do a good job moving into boxing, and you know, some have, and it's a good goal. So many different disciplines in TBL.
Yeah, Edwards' first love was boxing, and she went into MMA, and then once she became a better striker in MMA, she said, I want to go back to boxing, and that's part of her move back into the team boxing league, and she's hoping it'll be fruitful for her.
5-4, Philadelphia after the launch rounds. This the opener of the middle rounds. Dave Bontempo along with Al Bernstein and Amelia Moore at ringside. Glad you're with us as the TBL Summit is all that's been advertised so far between these 2 teams that are expected to make a lot of noise come Mega Brawl time, even though that's months away.
And, you know, for all the matches that we knew a lot about the fighters and thought they would be close, this is one of the ones where they weren't sure who was going to rise to the moment. And that's why this is a match that kind of was really undecided about who you thought would win. And both women in this, especially in the last minute or so, have done really good offensive work.
Here is Edwards trying to crowd, and Antunes trying to keep her off. They've gone back and forth, and Antunes, with all that amateur experience, still not that much separating them in this fight.
Both women have landed some very good right hands, and here on the inside, it was Edwards before, but then at that last moment, Antunes got some good things done on the inside.
Good left hook by Antunes just before the bell, and they put it all out there.
This was a fun round. There's the right hand that we talked about with Antunes, and Edwards also landed some during that round. Uppercut by Edwards. So you see a variety of punches by both these women, and each one taking turns. This was Edwards' turn, doing good work, but countering by Antunes.
TBL fans, the winner of round 9 via split decision. From Philadelphia, Maria Antunes.
That left hook at the end did not hurt. Good thing just before the bell for her. So again, Vegas on the verge,
Our
and
next
Philly
round is
pushing them
brought to you
back.
by Climax Moonshine, fire number 32, known to bring the heat. At lightweight for Philadelphia, Najim Johns. They'll meet from Las Vegas, Elena Medina.
Alan Medina, Najim Johns. Let's take a closer look at Alan Medina, who started boxing at the age of 8. One of the things he says I love, because everybody wants to be great, but nobody's willing to try. So there you go. That's kind of his way of telling you that he wants to be willing to try.
Well, he's a veteran of team boxing with over 33 matches. He split his matches on March 21st against Jose Rodriguez, who we saw perform very well this weekend. And so he got off to a fairly good start this season. And it was a one-loss split decision by Najim Johns against Adonis Wilkins. And the lefty theme continues. As I said at the beginning, we're going to see a lot of them tonight.
Yeah, and the action has been high-paced in them. Now, what's interesting to me in the 10th match now is that sometimes early in the season, coaches will throw fighters in to see what they have, see if they can develop, see if there's something that can happen for this fighter down the road. But the coaches have approached this like, well, this is must win. And you really have to earn your spot tonight on these teams. They're fighting like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everybody senses even though it's so early in the season, senses the importance of this matchup to set the tone. From both, with these two lefties, we talked about punches that can land, the straight left can get there, and we saw Johns get it a moment ago.
And there was a good shot from a countering situation for Johns.
Medina has not taken any pro fights outside of the TBL since 2023. He only had 2 pro fights. All his action has been inside TBL, as I mentioned. 33 matches in Team Boxing League, which makes him quite a veteran.
And also these guys able to read maybe the handwriting on the wall. If you haven't had a fight since 2022, you may not have the connections to get one that you like. So take this.
Yeah, team boxing is a great outlet. Good left hands during this round for Johns. I think if you thought of the two lefties and say who's landing the better straight lefts, it would be Johns. But Medina has been active, certainly, but mostly with the jab.
Johns has landed a couple of nice counter left hands. All right, so see how the judges take this one and whether Vegas can get back within one or Philly pulls out to a 3-point lead.
There's a counter right hook by Johns that nicked Alan Medina.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 10 by way of split decision. From the Las Vegas hustle, Elena Medina.
So all the fighters beware, we're having a bevy of split
Beg your
decisions.
pardon, Philadelphia won the round via split decision.
Ooh, but still a bevy of split decision.
That doesn't
Didn't
contradict
change that
you.
part.
Round 11 features super lightweights. Stasia Suttles against Las Vegas's Joanna Numurari.
All right, this is a strong point in the Philadelphia lineup. Stasia Suttles, natural, she calls her. Freight train, as I've called her in the last year as she has just steamrolled through opposition. 9-time international medalist. Wants to make her younger self proud. That's a good little piece of motivation.
And Numerawe is coming forward there and very aggressive. She's 7-0 as a pro and 2-0 in TBL, Numerawe. So, and she won 2 matches against Erica Farias on the 21st. So she is not daunted by this task of facing Suttles, who has such a daunting 17-2 record in team boxing.
This is quite a test for the new fighter from Las Vegas, who's a stunt and movie actress and calls herself the Sweet Sexy Savage. When we had her a couple weeks ago, she was engaging in the post-fight interviews, and you got the sense of she had a little Hollywood panache type thing, the way to build herself up. And guess what? She quits herself well here. This is among the best that she's going to face all year. So this is pivotal.
She is from Sofia, Bulgaria, a wonderful city I've visited on a number of occasions. Her and her brother are event managers at a big club there, where the club scene is one of the biggest in Europe. So she's a very eclectic person. Right now, though, she's got to deal with the pressure of Stacia Suttles, who is landing some big shots like that right hand.
Well, it's all business with Suttles. That's a very good right hand by her. Philadelphia was thrilled to pick her up.
Yeah,
from New York. You know, you're looking for those little advantages.
Yeah, that a very big addition to go along with Rashida Ellis. Well, this has been a fun round to watch, and Suttles has kind of made a subtle shift in it, I think, in the last 45 seconds to a minute, landing some big power punches that has been a little daunting for Numerawe.
Yeah, getting some distance is Suttles, and throwing from further back. Got a long winning streak, 17-2, 17 wins in a row, and the last person to beat her is ringside. That is Amelia Moore.
Yes.
Last year in the opener.
Yeah.
So what a run since then. Also gives you an indication about Amelia's talent as a boxer, and of course she recently won her Continental Championship.
Yeah, Suttles showing her medal here in the latter part of this round, former runner-up in the U.S. Nationals twice. She's got those great amateur credentials, and as we said, here in team boxing has been on a huge run.
Well, she's one of the top, arguably the top female fighter on the circuit, and one of the best on the entire circuit. So this is a good measuring rod for her opponent as well.
Yeah, and the jab of Suttles was really special in this match, and we saw it on display there.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 11 by unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Smoke, Stacia Suttles.
Well, the train keeps on rolling for Philadelphia. Well, one thing we wanted to make a point of, this has been an excellent team in their middle and money rounds.
Champions don't just train hard, they train consistently. Balance of Nature's new gutless snacks help support energy, recovery, and performance. Go to balanceofnature.com and use the code TEAM for 35% off your first order. Round 12 at welterweight for Philadelphia, Stephen Cunningham Jr. He'll meet for Las Vegas, Dariana Castro.
So Castro will try to put Las Vegas on the board in the middle rounds here.
I'm assuming that's what you had.
Castro for Vegas, 25-4. Good split with Rahman, Muhammad, beat Javon Davis. 0-1 this year, lost to Osvaldo Lopez.
And he's taking on Isaiah Johnson for the Philadelphia Smoke. We saw Johnson win against Salgado earlier this evening. So now here he is back in action at 147.
Good shots here by Castro. The double jab and the left hand getting through.
And Castro, one of the many Cuban-born fighters on this Las Vegas team, a four-time Cuban champion. So he's brings a lot into this battle. Johnson, though, as we pointed out before, very successful TBL fighter, got his 23rd win in the last fight earlier this evening.
So how did Vegas become a hotbed for Cuban talent? Is it coaches and then they recruit fighters, or how does it actually happen?
I think it's because of the fact that they can spar with people, as we pointed out, Gainza does, and get lots of work in between, and a number of Cuban coaches got there, and it is a place for it. And these two men going at it. The first fight Johnson was in was a good one, and this one is great as well.
Everybody on this card, you're seeing it again here, they're fighting as if there's not a second to lose. Even if you're not throwing a punch, there's some strategy here.
And Castro's been aggressive coming forward, but has been countered a lot like there with those combinations by Johnson. There's a reason Isaiah Johnson has won all these team boxing league matches.
Yeah, here in a stiff test, he is trying to come off the ropes and counter. It's not an easy style to win with, because you have to make the judges think you're toying with your opponent as you're being attacked.
And it's not that Castro isn't landing some of those overhand lefts. He is, but I don't know if he's landing enough. And that was a fascinating round between these two men. Castro undefeated as a pro, so he's,
And to your point, Philly thinks they have this. So the benches were erupting in glee. That's good action there.
Yeah, Isaiah Johnson certainly had a good round for himself. And if you had to ask me who I thought edged it out, it would be Johnson, but we'll see.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 12 by way of unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Smoke, Isaiah Johnson.
So the Philly
score,
train,
Philadelphia 9, Las Vegas 4.
keeps on going. Philadelphia doing a great job in the middle rounds, as they so
Team
often
Boxing League
do.
fans,
Putting
as
some distance now between them and Vegas. Is Vegas going to make a run? We'll find out. We come back. Well, Philadelphia is doing very well at home and starting to pull out in the middle rounds. Can Vegas make a move now? Let's go inside and find out.
Round 13 for Philadelphia at light heavyweight, Zaire Jefferson. For Las Vegas, Diane DePestre.
I never said I could do it.
All right, so it's DePestre and Jefferson, and Amelia Moore is standing by with a special guest. All yours, Amelia.
Hey, TBL family. So I am down here with Joseph Hicks. Joseph and I have had a long history together on Team USA. The time that we spent together, you were actually the men's team captain. I had a front row seat being able to see you have that big growth throughout your amateur career, and then into a pro career, which, my gosh, how many fights do you have now in the traditional pros?
14.
So coming into TBL, what made you come to TBL, and how did you pick Las Vegas Hustle?
I came to TBL because I got a problem. I start slow in the pros, so it was something I know one round is going to make you have to start, start fast. But I picked Hustle because, they're the best team, right?
I mean, it proves it tonight. These two teams between Philly and Vegas, they're just explosive. So it's funny that you just mentioned that you did look like you were a little bit calculated, a little bit measured in the beginning of that round, and then suddenly you let your hands go. You used your length. It was like pop, pop. I was like, oh, there it is. The click happened. Did you feel it? And now do you kind of feel like you know what to expect from this format?
Yeah, definitely. It was like, in the beginning, I was getting ready to try to box, but it felt weird. Not warming up or nothing. I just felt off, and then it just was like a switch, like, all right. But I lost that round, so I got to get it back.
You have that little bit of fire coming back. You're going to be in the money rounds. Anything to expect? I know you say you got to get it back, but don't be in the past, be in the future. I know how your mind works, man. It's very calculated.
Yeah, definitely. This next round, I'm gonna let my hands go for sure.
You guys will see it. He's gonna be in the money round. Stay tuned. Joseph, friggin' awesome to see you, man. So I just said friggin', that's so stupid. I'm so excited to see you, man. Welcome to the TBL family. Get us back in the ring, guys.
Okay, thank you, Amelia. He said it. You said it, Al. Time, Joseph Hicks with the slow start, and we will see him again and see what kind of adjustments he does make.
Yeah, it's fascinating they came to TBL to try and fix that. Diane DePestre who is a very experienced team boxing competitor with 25-18 record against Zaire Jefferson. Only has one team boxing league match, and DePestre is having himself, I think, a pretty good round here. And Vegas needs that, don't they?
Yeah, they need the guy who's in Miami via Cuba. 4 fights in a row that he's won. He tries to build on that and try to get his team back in, because they need to stay close, because they've got the hammer coming down at the end of the middle rounds. Kai Brooks, we're moving down closer to him. He will face Kanja Nathan.
And there was the straight right hand that got in for Jefferson, but also DePestre landed as well.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 13 by way of unanimous decision from the Las Vegas Hustle, Diane DePestre.
All right, so Double D gets Vegas on the board in the middle rounds, pulls it tighter, and very important now because they have to go up against one of the studs of the Philadelphia team in Jesse Hart.
Our next round is brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 14 at light heavyweight for Philadelphia, Jesse Hard Work Hart. He'll meet from Las Vegas, Yon Chandler Martinez.
When we last saw Jesse Hart, he was stopping Rancy Slanger with a big win, changed the match, a 4-pointer for Philadelphia, and then Philly went on a roll.
Stop! Let him out clean, Jesse. Let him out clean.
He's the leader of this team, so that's what they look to him for. And Martinez from Cuba is trying to beat one of Philly's top guys.
Yeah, Martinez 5-1 as a pro. He won his debut on March 21st, beating Angel Lozano on team boxing. And he is a very experienced amateur fighter. Over 200 amateur fights, won international medals for Cuba. So while Jesse Hart has much more experience as a pro, fought for regional championships and won them, and had 2 shots at a world title. This is one of those fights where Martinez is a live underdog because of his experience as an amateur. And he is the younger man at 27.
Yes, much younger than Jesse Hart. So all of those factors coming in.
Yeah, and all that having been said, Jesse Hart gets the job done in team boxing. 26-4 record, and as you pointed out, he's coming in off a big win.
There's a good right hand by Jesse Hart.
Yeah, he's got a good one, and Martinez coming back with his as well.
I feel like he kind of took a different stance. A lot of people were calling him Hollywood Hart in the last couple of years. And now this time, I'm hard work. And I'm going to do more of a blue collar.
I think that fits better than hard working.
Yeah, especially in Philadelphia, a hard-working city. So
both men are landing right hands very well. I mean, both men have landed some hard right hands. And it's going to be up to the judges. We got a minute left in this round to decide who landed the most and which ones were better. There's Hart landing that punch again. It's been a punch of choice for both men. And there's Hart getting his in.
Looping right by Hart. Just misses with the right hand behind the jab. And Martinez has certainly risen and been a force in here.
Yeah, he's gotten some of those rights of his own in. He's had good moments. The question is, have they been enough? And Hart has been using all of this ring in the last 30 seconds and kind of effectively in a way. And sneaking in some counter punches.
Making Martinez turn, make him change directions, disrupt him, and this is the veteran moves.
Yeah, he is. Jesse Hart has seen everything you can see in a boxing ring. Well, that was an interesting round of boxing.
And they didn't tap after. Jesse Hart rubbed his glove in the face and did it just out of the eyes of the referee.
Yeah, Martinez wasn't happy with him and was complaining to the referee. And here's some of the action. The right hand getting in there and by Hart, but then you see the right hand by Martinez as well. So judges had to be paying attention to which man was landing better. A lot of awkward action on the inside. There's Martinez with the right. So we saw both men landing that punch.
By unanimous decision from the Las Vegas hustle, your Chandler Martinez.
That may really psych up the Las Vegas team.
Round of 15 at Cruiserweight.
When you beat one of the leaders of the opposing squad. So Vegas right there now.
For the Philadelphia Smoke, it is Steve USS Cunningham Sr. For the Las Vegas also, Luis Rafael Portuando Alcala.
A pivotal match here. 9-6 now. Philadelphia ahead. If Las Vegas could pull it to 9-7 before Kai Brooks, it's be a very good development for them. And for Philadelphia, you want to pull out to a more comfortable edge before Las Vegas' biggest hitter goes in.
And Cunningham, the veteran, 49 years old, former two-time Cruiserweight champion. But hey, on March 20th, guess what? He won twice against Tessie Evis Talley.
Let's take another look at Cunningham, 49 years young, and wins over guys like Tyson Fury. Going back with that USS Cunningham. Remember him in the Cruiserweight division, and coming back to seem ageless now. So you get young fighters coming in here, 18 years old, And then you get the quote-unquote elder statesman who can still show people how it's done.
Yeah, and as we pointed out, he won several weeks ago, and he knocked Fury down even though he didn't win that fight. And but Steve Cunningham is a force in that ring still at this age, and for Portuando Kaya, who is 6-6 in team boxing, he split on March 21st against Juan Higuera, won one and lost one. So, and as you point out, with Kai Brooks on deck and always a danger to get 4 points for Las Vegas, this fight has implications.
9-6 Philadelphia right now. Philadelphia has been a good second half of the lineup team over the years.
Kaya landing a nice right hand there a moment ago when he pushed Cunningham against the ropes.
Good work there by Cunningham with the jab and then right hand and being elusive.
He is pretty remarkable for 49 years of age. I mean, he really is. That's just good work by him. And this format's perfect. You fight one round.
Yeah, and what you can salute for him is the reflexes.
Yeah.
The 49-year-old to pick up all the cues. Usually what happens at these ages, you don't see it as quickly as you saw it before. You can't react as quickly. You know what to do, but you can't. Well, he's going back on all that, and he's been able to stand strong.
Yeah, nice right hand. He gets hit by Kaya with the right hand, but withstands it. Both these men have landed some punches of note in this round.
And what you do when you're 49, you know when to tie up and try to use a little clock. That's a boxing version of it.
Kaya's, when he's gotten Cunningham on the ropes, he's done some good work. And that was an interesting round of boxing.
All right, so is it 9-7 or 10-6? A very big decision coming up here in terms of the scoring by the judges.
I think you can make a case either way in that match.
Yeah. Depending on what you like to reward, they both made a good case.
League fans, the winner of round of 15 by unanimous decision. From the Las Vegas, also Luis Rafael Portuando Acala.
It's 9-7 from 9-4.
The plot thickens.
Yes, it does. And now the guy, just a little bit of pressure on him because he's been talked about in social media for the last week and a half. KO Kai Brooks, 2 fights, 2 knockouts.
Our final middle round will be in the heavyweight division. For Philadelphia, Concha Nathan. Coming from the Las Vegas, also Kaya Brooks.
Now, even though we're building up the KO record for Brooks, they did fight before and he got a decision, so that could lead you to think it might be a little more stylistic.
Yeah, and Concha Nathan never met a brawl he didn't like. He's coming in here off winning twice. One was a split decision back in March 20th against Dusan Veletic, and they fought in the first team boxing league match that Brooks had, so we'll see.
All right, will this have the seismic impact on this fight as it did the last time he was in the ring? Or is Nathan being a better fighter, perhaps, and somebody's decisions that suggested more tactical?
Yeah, exactly. And Nathan is 20-11 in team boxing. Brooks 9-1. And the thing about Nathan is when he gets involved in those slugfests, he gives as much as he gets, and often more, as he did against Veletic.
So we're seeing some channeled chaos so far from the fighters. A lot of respect being given, and nobody really leaping out of their shoes.
Yeah, a caution, I think, a little bit by both men. They know they're both big hitters. Body work by Kanji Nathan.
Well, we chose this as the round to watch for a lot of different reasons. One of them being what Brooks did last week. And then we suspected this would be close when they came to fight, and it is.
Right hand by Nathan, and then Brooks coming back. Nice left hook.
Let's see who does something off the jab with the power hand here. Both being opportunistic. See where that left hand is by Nathan. Daring Kai Brooks to bite on it.
Brooks starting to use his jab a little bit more. Brooks didn't, you know, he wasn't throwing a lot in the first part of this round.
It's basically, you get the sense he understood that this would be more of a boxing effort, like coming from Nathan, who's not taking the chances that maybe other fighters do.
No, I agree, and both men from the outside have had some success, but not as much as you would anticipate. The jab of Brooks, if there's something maybe you could look at and say that's the difference, though Nathan gets in a good right hand, it might be the jab of Brooks.
It's kept him on the outside, and now he goes after Nathan, but it's with 15 seconds to go. It's heating up.
And I'll tell you, Nathan landed a nice counter right. So if the judges pay attention to that, they'll see that punch getting in. So it's a close round there. The overhand right of Kanji Nathan is a factor whenever he fights.
All right, he was in this all the way. This is going to be a tight one.
I agree.
And your Philly, you already dodged the biggest hitter, and there was a good shot by Nathan and one by Brooks.
Yeah, that kind of is this match in microcosm, and there's the jab of Brooks, which toward the end of the round, in the last minute and a half, kind of became a major factor. So this will be intriguing.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 16 by split decision. From the Las Vegas Hustle, Kai Brooks.
So Kai Brooks gets a very close and split decision. And speaking of the words,
9-8.
Very close.
The money rounds are
very close. With Philadelphia just barely on top. Well, we've seen a lot of great action this evening from two squads that we know came in with a lot of praise sent their way. Great action still to come. And here's Dave Bontempo to tell us about upcoming events.
Hey, Al, we certainly are enjoying the excitement of this weekend, and one matchup left in this week. The new look San Antonio Snipers versus the LA Elite, and that will complete TBL Week 3. Then we look ahead to a dynamic Week 4. It should be terrific with the Nashville Smash taking on the Phoenix Fury on Friday, April 17th. The Dallas Enforcers go against the Houston Hitmen in an all-Texas battle. And Atlanta will take on Miami in a great regional matchup to complete the action. TBL week number 4. We're all excited about it already.
A nail biter after the launch rounds, a nail biter after the middle rounds, with Philadelphia toppling Las Vegas 9-8, but Vegas on a 4-fight win streak. How does it work with the scoring in the TBL? You get a decision, it's 1 point. You get a knockdown, it's a bonus point. You get 2 knockdowns, 2 bonus points. A knockout, it is 4 points. We did not see any 4-pointers yet, so basically Philadelphia dodges a bullet with Kai Brooks. 24 one-round fights, and here we go into the money rounds. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein, and boy, as we saw it before, exactly where it is, so close.
We expected a lot of close fights. We are getting them, and many of them split decisions as well, which further indicates just how close this competition is.
Well, when it comes to some of the fighters, stop me if you've seen this before, because at the top of the show, we highlighted 2 fighters who made their marks also in the middle rounds.
Yeah, Stacia Suttles against Joanna Namaru. And Suttles showed us her pedigree as a great amateur fighter. After Namaru had a good start in this, Suttles came on and controlled the round and won it, an important win during a period where Philadelphia looked like they were maybe starting to take control of this match. But by the time we hit this one, Kanji Nathan taking on Kai Brooks, it was very close. And they put on a display of a very close round, which both men did good work. It was a split decision. It went to Kai Brooks.
All right, so as advertised, so close, razor-thin developments, and now the money rounds where this is going to be decided. We can't wait to see how it plays out. Let's take it now inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to begin the money rounds. Round 17, stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Round 17, for Philadelphia, Shaquilla Ellis. For Las Vegas, Florencia Britos.
All right, here we go into the money rounds where Philadelphia dominated in its first match, but here we are in a one-pointer. Britos and Ellis.
And Britos had some good moments in their first encounter. They just weren't enough. And against Ellis, it's tough to pull out a win here. She remains undefeated in Team Boxing League. Britos was able to land some nice right hands in the last encounter they had, and we'll see if she can build on that.
You got the adrenaline, now you know it's very close. The teams are depending on you. You're fighting not just for yourself, but for your teammates. So the drama heats up in the money rounds.
And we talk about Ellis, who of course is undefeated. Britos has 22 wins herself in team boxing, and she switches back to lefty again. She switched a lot in the first round we saw them in. There's the hand speed of Britos. Not everything getting in, but that's what Amelia pointed out way back at the top of our show.
You know, for two teams with a lot of power, there's been a lot of great boxing, and the power aspect, only one knockdown.
Yeah.
And that is the difference right now. In a fight that has felt, in a card that taut and tense, just like a championship match.
Yeah, I agree. And even the one knockdown from Rasheed Brown, that was such a flash knockdown. You could barely see the right hook landing. You know, Britos, I think, has had a fairly good part of this round, but that happened in the other round, and then Ellis really kind of took control. So we'll see if Ellis is able to do that again.
And then if you're Britos making the adjustments, you know how close you feel you got. So
yeah.
In this one, you feel like you start a little closer and sense victory. And the idea is somebody has to put an L on this opponent at some time.
Britos has attacked less in this round and been a little more calculating. Attack, then move back, use the ring. She's hoping that approach will help. And she's done a pretty good job, though Ellis landed a nice uppercut.
You get a sense of Ellis settling into a rhythm in the last 30 seconds here. Like an inner clock, like an alarm clock. Like in this format, why do you have this big win streak? You know when you have to turn it up.
And that's what she did in the last round against Britos. I don't know if she's done it as much in this one, but you could see her trying to be more aggressive in these final moments. And an Ellis right hand kind of punctuates this round, but Britos being very active.
All the way through. Las Vegas has not led since after early battle, the first fight of the night. But they did trail by 5 and brought it all the way up to 1 before this.
Well, we know she's confident.
The O will stay as far as she's concerned.
Yes.
The O is going nowhere. But what do the judges believe?
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 17 by split decision. From Philadelphia, Shaquille Ellis.
Tight one. That's as close as she's come to losing. A split decision, but
appropriate. It was a split decision.
Yeah, very, very tight. And Philly gets very important
Round 18
point.
is brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 18 for Philadelphia, Rasheed Brown. For Las Vegas, Joannis Argilagos.
Well, we showed you that the scoring graphic and how the power does matter. This is the fight that produced the lone knockdown back early on. And for you fans who remember a couple weeks ago, after Jesse Hart scored a knockout, the Philly Fab Five finished the show. It was Brown, Nathan, Ellis, Cunningham, and Suttles consecutively to finish out the card. Argilagos, some personal information about the fighter. 2016 Summer Olympic bronze. Good credentials.
Yeah, he's great amateur credentials. Won the World Championships in 2015 and 2017. So he's a very solid fighter, 9-2-1 as a pro. So he comes into this as somebody that, you know, you have to think should bring a lot to it. Brown is so much physically bigger than him. It's interesting, even though they're in the same weight class, Brown just looks bigger than Argilagos.
And he continues to be both elusive and opportunistic.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Brown is, while he's clever and crafty, and it's helped him not only with all these Team Boxing League wins, but be 15-1 in the rest of pro boxing, he's an offensive-minded fighter, and he's showing that.
And that knockdown going back, just as you were saying, he was off his front foot and putting a little bit more into his offense, and that's when that big knockdown occurred. It's interesting how guys develop a finishing sense when they're in the money rounds and then they're used to having a big record.
Yeah, and Brown came into this round, you know, he said to himself, obviously, I'm going to be aggressive right from the get-go here and not let Argilagos get any confidence. Argilagos switching, which he didn't do in the first bout, and I think that's more, it's almost a desperation move at this point by him.
Yeah, I'm going to try something because I can't get to this guy. And there's a certain, the way Brown expands himself when he goes back and leans forward, crouching, how he makes himself a harder target to hit. And you see an example of coming up way short against the guy who was doing that.
height, reach advantage for Brown. As I said, he just looks bigger. And even though a lot of his punches not landing, it's the volume because Argalagos has not done much offensively in this round.
Let's see, here's a look back at some of Brown's handiwork.
Yeah, he is. You know, he just was more. He had to do some of that careful work on the outside, and then he got to inside and did that shoe shine, in which some got through and a lot of volume.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 18 by unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Rasheed Brown.
Well, he opens a little daylight. Yeah, these teams have both been able to put together runs tonight. Philly at the beginning of the middle rounds.
For Philadelphia, it is Zaire Jefferson. They'll meet from Las Vegas, Diana DePestre.
So we get another look at DePestre, who started the Vegas run in the middle rounds.
Yeah, that was against Zaire Jefferson. Against. No, that was against Isaiah Johnson or Jefferson. I'm sorry. It was against Jefferson, and he did a very, very good job in that match.
Now he's going to try to set up another run for Las Vegas. In the meantime, for Philadelphia, just like at the beginning of the middle rounds, when they won the first 4, doing a nice job getting off the ground in the money rounds. DePestre is on the outside, trying to be as effective as he was in his first fight tonight.
Yeah, he did a really good job offensively, and he's attempting to do that again. And there's a big overhand right that gets through.
Teams can get mentalities that we are strong finishers when they do it in top-level competition. Really able to pull away from New York and defeat the defending Mega Brawl champions with a streak of their own after New York had issued a big streak against Philadelphia last year to capture the Mega Brawl in Cinderella unlikely fashion.
Yeah, Jefferson has had 2 losses straight now in TBL tonight and also on March 20th. Wants to turn it around a little bit here, and for DePestre, very important right for Las Vegas at this moment to get a win.
Because these money rounds disappear, you're down to a few, and all of a sudden a 3 or 4 point lead without the power shots, knockouts is going to loom large. It looks like DePestre has made a very good effort to get Vegas back within 2.
See if he can change the momentum for the second time tonight.
And that's a big part of this, to become known as a stopper for a team, a guy you plug in and who can get you going in the right direction again.
And we'll see. That wasn't, you know, Jefferson had his moments. There was some work by DePestre on the inside.
the winner of round 19 by unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Zaire Jefferson.
All those hopes for Las Vegas in vain, as Philly looking very familiar with this money rounds run. Goes from 9-8 up to 12-8.
If you're watching these athletes give everything in the ring, ask yourself, how can you supplement like them? Balance of Nature is offering 35% off tonight only with code TEAM at balanceofnature.com. Round 20 for Philadelphia, the new Ray Robinson. Las Vegas, Dizlan Ravo Gainsa.
We get into an interesting part of this right now. Gainza trying to get a second victory over Robinson, but now the score is looming a little bit uncomfortably here for Vegas. So at some point, some of these fighters will have to come out of their natural habitat and go for everything.
Yeah, they need to sell out a little bit more. I don't think that's an issue for Gainza because he was very aggressive in the first round when they fought. And so I don't think the mindset is antithetical to him. It's just a question of whether he can hurt Robinson. He did land some big shots in that first encounter.
So you're on the Vegas side with 5 matches to go. Somebody has to come up big for you. And Gainza is at least swinging like he wants to come up big.
I announced the last pro fight that Gainza had where he won a TK over Deshaun Dixon, and he showed flat power in that match. We'll see if he can do that against the 40-year-old Robinson. He's trying.
Yeah, and it's intriguing to see if you can get a knockout in a one-round format when everybody knows that you have to get one sooner or later. But he is swarming Robinson right now.
And Ray Robinson's still counterpunching, you know, and he's very clever, as we know. You know, we mentioned he's been in against some of the best in the world over the course of his long career, over 20 years. And Gainza, I've seen him develop as a pro over his 3 pro fights, and he is remarkably better than when he just turned pro. They've done a lot with him, even though I know he's done very well in team boxing, and you know, his record is 14-5 now. But he's a fighter on the improve at age 24.
Some fighters improve with tactical measures, and with some fighters it's emotion. And this is a guy coming with his heart.
Yeah, he is really going after Robinson. And a lot of pressure.
Keep your hands moving. Work your way out of there. Stop. Let him out clean. All right.
If he could be a little bit closer when he launches the big shots, he'll be able to land one. But this is how the emotion kicks in and how you can be in a hurry. And now you go up against the clock.
The jab of Gainza has been very effective. Even though he's coming up just short with those left hands, the jab is designed to get him there with that punch. And what's keeping him sometimes is that Robinson still is countering.
Yeah, Robinson is keeping himself in the fight with moments like that.
Yeah, and so Gainza can't, you know, attack with abandon all the time.
Well, a couple of these shots from Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're coming from Las Vegas and Philadelphia. Well, the thing about this round is Gainza has done more of the work, even though Robinson has had some effective moments of countering. Oh, my goodness, a little cut right at the end of that round. No, it might have been from a clash of heads. This is unfortunate because it affects Gainza moving forward.
Yeah, it looks like, fortunately, I mean, we hope it is minor. But oh, there it is. He's rubbing it down. That could be a bit of a problem. And you have commissions that can impose, you know, suspensions and basically are common sense for you.
And that's a bad break.
Yes, especially so close to the end.
Fans, the winner of round 20 by unanimous decision from Las Vegas, Dizlan Ravo
So Gainza keeps it competitive for Las Vegas, still in the hunt. Philly in control, but Vegas is still here as we come down to the home stretch of this TBL matchup.
Casino in Philadelphia on Sunday, May 17th. Join us on Sunday, May 17th. Go to teamboxingleague.com for ticket information and be a part of the Philadelphia Smoke matching up against the Miami Assassins. That is on Sunday, May 17th here at Harris Casino in Philadelphia. Tell your family, friends, and everyone about Team Boxing League Season 4, the fastest growing non-bad sport on planet Earth. Coming up, we have round 21 of the money rounds all the way.
The home stretch beckons. The final 4 fights, Philly up 12-9. Vegas still very much in it. And we've got matters to decide. Let's go inside.
Round 21 of the money rounds for Philadelphia. It is Paul Kroll. Las Vegas, Joseph Hicks.
This is going to be interesting because Joseph Hicks telling Emilio Moore that he expected to have some adjustments when he came back here this time. And while they do that, Emilia's standing by with the national anthem singer, Pipes Albright. Go ahead.
So we have Nair Albright in the house with the Philadelphia Smoke, absolute veteran to the Philly Smoke. Always an absolute treat to hear you sing, so soulful, so dynamic, and then how many times have I seen you just switch gears and have gloves on and go right into the ring? How do you balance that?
I don't know. Honestly, like, I just was born to do it. Like, I've been doing this since a little kid, so it's just what I do.
Just in his soul. So, massive news. May 16th, rematch against Keyshawn Davis. What does this opportunity feel and mean for you right now?
Oh, man, it's everything, like, especially since everything that transpired in the back room. So, you know, May 16th, it's time to just show the world who I am again, like I did before and before that. But this time, it's gonna put a stamp on it. So I'm excited.
So for context, 2023, their decision was overturned to a no contest. So that's what, in reference to. With that being said, kind of how does that, are you bringing anything with you from that? Are you clean slate or just charging forward? Like you said, this is me, this is my time.
Yeah, I feel like it's just my season. It's a new weight class for me and him. But speaking for myself, I got stronger. I got a lot better since 2023. So the world's just gonna be in for a fight.
I love this. You guys have to tune in May 16th in Norfolk, Virginia. I'll be rooting for you, man. Do your thing out there. Thank you so much. Dave, get us back in the ring. Let's see some more action.
Okay, thank you, Amelia. We don't know if he'll be singing that night, but he did a nice job tonight.
Great, he's superb, good vocalist. Well, Paul Kroll landing a nice combination there. You know, Kroll has done a little bit of what he did in their first encounter. Just kind of take the play away a little bit with his aggressiveness. And I'm not, you know, Joseph Hicks had a hard time, like, just responding with counter punches. Tries there with the right hand.
So he comes into this round off the last one with more enthusiasm and more aggressiveness, but he's also been more distracted by what he's seeing coming at him.
Yeah, I mean, a nice jab by Hicks, but Kroll's aggressiveness in the last round has been also kind of highlighted here in this round, but we'll see. I mean, Hicks has done some good things offensively. It's just a question of whether he did enough.
Kroll continues to pressure. Philly trying to widen that lead back to 4.
A magic number.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And it certainly would change a matchup that will be coming up to us in round number 23. A little bit ahead, and they're psyched. They're psyched over there.
They're hoping that Joseph Hicks got himself when he landed a couple of nice right hands, but so did Kroll. And there was the right hand left hook, and Joseph Hicks gave him the stamp of approval on that combination. Toward the end of the round, they were battling away, and both men landing some shots. Hicks very animated at the end of that round.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 21 by unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Small Paul Kroll.
We'll give him credit for basically baptizing a newcomer in this. Get those points. So Philly back up by 4.
Round 22 is brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. For Philadelphia, Stasia Suttles. Las Vegas will feature Joanna Nuameru.
All right, this is a rematch from earlier. Nuameru had a good debut a couple weeks ago, charismatic, but running into one of the top fighters in the league. Now we'll try to adjust.
Nuameru was very aggressive in the last encounter, and she is this time too, coming forward early in this round. But Suttles using what else? That strong jab. And you know, Suttles, her jab is not just, it's a weapon. I mean, it's like a power jab.
Yes, yes.
Nuameru is unfazed, though. She is coming in, but taking right hands for her trouble right now.
Yeah, good action as she's trying to crowd Suttles. And finding that the jab that you're describing is stopping her as she loads up. And Suttles trying for the right hand.
Yeah, and the right's now coming from Suttles. Nuameru, who is, again, 7-0 as a pro with 3 KOs, so she's an accomplished pro fighter and has won her first 2 TBL matches, but in there against another level of fighter right now in Suttles, who just doesn't hardly ever lose. And as you mentioned, that long winning streak, which now is up to 18 for her in team boxing.
And it's the speed. The Nuameru loads up, and there's already a jab by Suttles to greet her, and a right hand over the top to greet her. Just the pace of it. And she has been spunky and fiery.
Yeah.
And you get the idea that she's going to be a good fighter in this league. But tonight she's up against the best.
That's a very good point. She has shown us she can win in TBL. But yeah, this is another kettle of fish time.
And you know, we don't see many fighters trying to press Stasia Suttles for a long time. And she tried to do that. And now Suttles is asserting her pedigree with the hand speed.
And this tonight, the offensive display from Suttles, after the first minute or so of their first match, the last 5 minutes, counting this one probably, have been really controlled by Suttles. And not just controlled, but she's landing big power punches like that right hand.
Oh, and she's trying to put an exclamation point on it now, and you see why Coach Bob Kane is so optimistic about the money rounds lineup for his team.
And I'll tell you what, a knockdown for Suttles would almost close the door, come very close to it on Las Vegas. So they certainly don't want Nuameru to go down here if you're Vegas. Wow, some right hands, and that one stunned Nuameru. What a performance by Stasia Suttles.
Yeah, against somebody who really came at her again, and then she broke her down. You can break someone down within one round. It's just amazing that she's done that. And this is why she's been a phenomenal addition to this Philadelphia team.
The jab, the straight right hand, that and a few uppercuts is pretty much what Stasia Suttles used to control this fight, to control that round, and very likely win.
fans, the winner of round 22 by unanimous decision from the Philadelphia Smoke Stage of Settles.
So it's 14-9. It's a 5-point bulge, and again, Philadelphia dominating the money rounds to this point against a good team, as they did against New York. Just 2 rounds to go. Remember the
Our
Fab Five.
penultimate round will be in the heavyweight division for Philadelphia. Concha Nathan. Las Vegas will showcase Kai Brooks.
The Fab Five for Philly last time: Brown, Nathan, Ellis, Cunningham Sr., and Suttles, all coming up with points. And here, Suttles has come up big and put a 5-point gap up. And even though, you know, Brooks is the big gun for Nathan, stylistically it didn't play into that, their first fight.
Very close between these two men in the previous encounter, and Nathan, as he lost the first decision to Kai Brooks when he fought Brooks in his TBL debut by decision, he lost the decision the last time. So they need something more than that. Las Vegas does.
He delivered, actually came through in the middle rounds, and then later on in the fight for Vegas last week. But, you know, we talk about styles making fights, and matchups are important. Yeah, he needs Nathan to cooperate if he wants to get the big 4-pointer. And Nathan also knows his team is sitting on a big lead.
Yeah, and for Nathan, it's interesting. It creates an intriguing dynamic, because how aggressive does he turn in this matchup?
And I think it's harder than people would realize to go from, okay, you're a slugger, now protect the lead and just go box. I mean, you're out there for your
very
protection.
Good. Excellent point. And we saw Nathan use his jab very effectively there. That's a punch that probably is underused by him. But when he does use it, it's pretty effective. And Brooks, of course, known for having a good jab, and that's what creates some of those straight right hands for him.
And enough of the jab coming from Nathan at this juncture of the round to make Brooks kind of reload.
Yeah, the one thing Nathan doesn't want to do is put a lazy jab out there that a Brooks right hand, which he just tried, could create a real problem for him, because we know Brooks can hurt you with that right hand.
And you look at where Nathan is holding that left hand. It might be the equivalent of a lazy jab. And Brooks is trying to go to the top and capitalize. Got 40 seconds with which to work.
And so far in this round, you can make a case this could go either way, even via decision. Though Brooks now landing some pretty good shots.
Body shot by Brooks, but it did not bring the hands down of Nathan. He was trying to set it up. Had a combination in mind. Nathan held his course, and that big right hand by Brooks just missed.
You know, the last 30 seconds of this round might have turned it for Brooks in terms of winning the round, but that isn't enough unless they get fireworks in the final fight.
And Nathan did his job. Yeah, the top point getter in the league. Now, if he gets this, we'll be up to 10 points. But Nathan held Las Vegas's big gun to a decision.
If in fact that.
Yeah, if in fact that. Yeah. But he
exactly
did not get hit with the big crooked number against this team.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 23 by way of unanimous decision from the Las Vegas hustle, Kai Brooks.
So 14-10 as Brooks keeps Las Vegas mathematically in it, and now
And
Martinez
round 24.
must knock out
For
Jesse Hart.
Philadelphia,
We're not
Jesse
asking for
Hart.
much.
He'll meet from Las Vegas, your Chandler Martinez.
So that is it, a 4-point knockout victory by Las Vegas would force overtime. So Brooks kept them mathematically in it. And you know Martinez will go out with that intention in mind, at least early.
And Martinez won the first encounter between these two, and he landed some excellent right hands. And there's bad blood between these two guys. He is mad about Hart lacing him.
Yes, he did at the end of their first fight, too.
The referee not becoming a part of that, but they're going to be wailing away with right hands, especially Martinez. And look at Hart still doing it. I'll tell you what.
It could be a point taken from Hart.
Could well be.
This is at least a warning, and it might be a point. We're not right there. But
I need you to calm down, yeah? Relax.
If he does it again, there'll be a point deducted for sure.
big overhand shot here by Martinez. Well, hey, it's bombs away, and there's no mystery about what Martinez needs to do.
Yeah.
And Hart's going to tie him up and even throw some shots close to the border.
You will not be inviting these two guys to your next cocktail party.
No, you will not. The animosity finale.
Well, from Martinez's, from his standpoint, he's trying to rip those overhand rights and the left hooks. And a lot of this, you know, that's the other problem is this gets distracting for Martinez from his mission, because there's all this jostling and
extracurricular activity here by Hart. You know, doesn't just tie him up, but decides to try to spin him and you know, rub it in a little bit.
Yeah, Jesse Hart's a clever veteran, and all that eats away a clock also.
So an example of it there, twist him and turn him, and then put the right hand out. Like, see, I'm clear.
And you know what? In this round, Martinez has not been able to get the right hand in as much as he did in the first encounter between these two men. And they are both making their feelings known to each other.
Jesse Hart is usually outspoken on many fronts.
Yeah.
So, and he lost the last fight to him, so that's at the back of his mind right now, too.
Big left hook by Martinez. That was his best punch of the round. Yeah, the clock is running down on Las Vegas.
Philadelphia closing in on win number 2, either by 3 points or 5 points. And Jesse Hart not making any new friends in Las Vegas. Of course, before their fight last year, he stood up and he called them out. So he's definitely the flashpoint of the stirring the pot.
Well, in that round, a lot of extracurricular activities we pointed out, but there was also punching, and it's possible Hart just did more of that.
Boxing League fans, the winner of round 24 by unanimous decision from the Las Vegas hustle, Chandler Martinez.
So Martinez sweeps Jesse Hart. Our round to watch is revealing in that regard. Vegas still comes up short by 3, but a good effort all the way around.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars.
So it's over. We're going to come back for the honors and more after this.
Johnny, give me a minute.
Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, that's the Balance of Nature. What about the Balance of Nature Star Fight? Well, that was number 2, round number 2, which was decisive at the time. Gave us our first knockdown of the night.
Yeah, Rasheed Brown doing a great job and bringing it home with a knockdown included.
So Sugar Sheen getting Philly off to a big start, and they would not relinquish the lead. Let's go inside and meet the stars of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final score, the Philadelphia Smoke 14, the Las Vegas Hustle 11. Here are your 3 stars of the night. Your number 3 star, he is Las Vegas Super Welterweight, Tislan Ginza. Your second star of the night, Philadelphia Smoke Welterweight, Isaiah Johnson. And your Balance of Nature first star of the night, it is Philadelphia Smoke Featherweight, Rasheed Brown. And our round of the night, round 1 between Ivy Enriquez and Natalia Castañeda.
Good fight. Mama.
Coach Bob Kane, Bobbert. Amazing, beautiful, dominant performance tonight. This was a big win for the Philadelphia Smoke tonight, making a huge statement. I have said it like 5 times tonight. This was the championship fight, week 3. What did you see with the team that really brought this together tonight?
Well, what happened last season, so they wanted to get it back this season. Everyone was hyped to get it back. So we're going to continue to do this and get better each fight.
That revenge energy, I love it. Also, can we have a discussion on your recruiting tactics? Because what's the secret sauce? Because every time we look at this team, the talent just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
It's all in our city. Philadelphia's #1.
Hear that? This is Fight City, you guys. Congratulations on a really amazing night tonight. Celebrate.
Thank you. Win.
That's what I was waiting for. Sugar Sheen, just so you know, you are one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Another clean, technical, beautiful performance that everybody can always expect out of you. It's just outrageous. You had that first knockdown of the night. You set the tone. How did that feel in there, just setting the tone for the team?
Oh, I feel good. I love always setting the tone for the team. It get the whole team hype, it get the crowd hype, and it get me going for my second round.
You know, I watch your mind and I'm watching your eyes when you're in there, and it's like you're thinking so fast and ahead of everybody, and you've seen everything. it almost looked like you were bored going in that second round. You had it so controlled, he couldn't even get in. I mean, the range and your footwork was perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was feeling. Like in my second round, I started getting a little bored. I'm like, eventually I started looking at the clock. I'm like, is this going over? Because I just needed him to give me. I want him to give me a little more so I could put more of a show on for the crowd. But it's all, I could take an easy W. That's good.
Absolute amazing performance. Congratulations on being star of the night, setting the tone. You're amazing, dude.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, y'all.
Amazing job, Philly. Dave, let's finish out the show tonight. Good work.
Okay, thanks. Good work, Amelia. And I got to tell you something. Not only it's what Philly did, it's also what they prevented, which was the big 4-pointer from Kai Brooks. And you put those all together, it adds up to 3-point win.
Yeah, Conju Nathan hung in there for that last round for sure that he was fighting. And, you know, Rasheed Brown, I mean, he has 34 wins now in team boxing, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, he has shown over the time he's had in TBL, he's very special.
All right, so you look at this Philadelphia team. Brown, Ellis, Suttles. You're doggone right the recruiting was awfully good.
Yeah, and we saw Stacey Suttles, one of those recruits tonight, with a dominant performance.
All right, so thank you for joining us. It has been a terrific night. Don't forget that next show we've got coming up is the LA Elite and the San Antonio Snipers, the new look Snipers, coming your way on April 12th. Well, thanks for joining us. For everybody who did a terrific job in the truck, for my buddy Al Bernstein, for Amelia Moore, and everybody at Team Boxing League, this is Dave Bantamweight saying so long, everybody. See you soon.